Let me say something that sounds offensive, but it's true. Some people get rich not because they're smarter than you, but because they got luckier. And that thought is hard to swallow. Because if success is about intelligence and effort, then failure feels like your fault. But what if the math says otherwise? If this idea makes you uncomfortable, don't click away. Because once you understand this, you'll stop blaming yourself for outcomes you never controlled. Imagine this. 200 people decide to start a business. They read the same books, work the same hours, take the same risks. 10 years later, 5 of them are rich. Those 5 are interviewed, quoted, put on podcasts. We ask them, "What's your secret?" And they tell us stories. "I believed in myself. I took risks. I worked harder than everyone else." Sounds logical? But here's the problem. We never interview the other 195. The ones who worked just as hard, believed just as strongly, took the same risks, and still lost. This blind spot has a name. Psychologists and statisticians call it survivorship bias. It means we only study the winners and mistake survival for skill. Here's where the math gets brutal. If 1,000 people flip a coin 10 times, a few will land heads every single time. Not because they're gifted, not because they mastered coin flipping, pure probability. But if you only look at those people, you might conclude they have a system. That's exactly how luck hides. Now apply this to money. Some people make reckless investments, start businesses with bad timing, make bold moves without understanding risk. Most of them lose everything. A few get rich, and we call those few geniuses, not because the strategy was smart, but because they survived the randomness. This is why you'll see people with terrible advice, but incredible results, and people with solid thinking, but nothing to show for it. It's not fair, but it's real. Quick pause. Have you ever felt confused watching someone succeed in a way that made no sense? Comment yes if you've seen this before. Now here's the part that changes everything. Survivorship bias doesn't just distort how we see others. It destroys how we judge ourselves. You try something. It doesn't work. You assume you weren't good enough. But what if you did everything right and still landed on the wrong side of probability? In reality, success sits at the intersection of skill and luck. Skill increases your odds, but it never guarantees the outcome. That's the math nobody talks about. The stupid person who got rich, they may have taken the same risk you avoided, or the same risk you took and lost. Same move, different roll of the dice. The mistake is thinking outcomes equal intelligence. They don't. They equal survival. Here's the real lesson. Don't copy winners blindly, and don't judge yourself by single outcomes. Judge yourself by decision quality, by risk awareness, by consistency over time. Because luck is noisy in the short term, but irrelevant in the long run. If you understand survivorship bias, you stop worshiping results and start respecting process. That's how you stay sane, and that's how you actually increase your odds. So tell me this, have you been blaming yourself for something that might have been bad luck? Comment, "I see it now." Subscribe to Mind Mechanics. Here, we don't chase success stories. We decode the math behind them.